welcome back to my huge channel. Today we're talking about the Met Gala, which is not typical for this channel because I think I never talked about the Met Gala because it's not relevant for us. But we're talking about the Met Gala. And the main reason why we do this, why we need this video, kind of, is there's nothing else to talk about right now. It's pretty sad what is going on in fashion right now because we have no season. The next fashion week is like in 1.5 months. It's men's week and it's men's week. Then is haute couture, and just in September is women's week. So we have the Met Gala in May, which is nice for some fashion topic. But you know what? I want to be super honest with you. Like, I really do not like the Met Gala because it's not, for me, it's not really a fashion moment. It's more like a media moment. I don't know the people attending. I don't know what many people are wearing because it's a lot of haute couture, and I'm a person of the proletariat, you know? I'm a ready-to-wear person. I like what people wear in the streets. So I do not care so much about haute couture. And when I see, like, when I Google people attending the Met Gala and it says, like, American TV speaker, news speaker or something, I'm like, I don't really care about these people. Like, honestly, I really do not care about the people attending. And I think I know probably, like, 10 people that are there. And that's because you're being spammed by them on the internet. But I do have an opinion though. I think I should share it. And the reason why I made a video the first time ever, because usually it's just a funny series of Instagram stories, I figured a lot of people supported my opinion and were like, hey, nobody else is saying this out loud, so thank you for saying that. And I was like, I will give back to the people. I will make a video about it and I will scream it out loud because I don't care. And it's not because the Met Gala is an amazing SEO optimized keyword right now on YouTube that I do this. I care so few tiny bits that I didn't even research what the topic is. I mean, it's not that you need to research really about that, but I didn't look up the topic. I think it's Garden of Time, right? Garden and Time and some Sleeping Beauty Awakening stuff. And I didn't check the people, and you know what I don't care about in this video? I don't care about the story behind the dress. But in terms of celebrity fashion, I really just want them to do good, and they don't need to sell me something. They don't even have to sell me a story, they just need to sell me a good look. And when I say good look, we know what we mean. We don't speak about the typical Zac Posen stuff. Like, Zac Posen's cool, I love you. You know what I mean. You know what we want. We want fashion. It's the Met Gala. Like, actually, it's like the most fashion moment ever. It's actually even more fashion than Fashion Week. And what do we get? We get Tommy Hilfiger, we get H&M, we get Gap, and we get 50% Thom Browne, and the other 50% was Margiela. Like, that's literally what it was. So this is not going to be roast. This is just my very open opinion about this event and the looks, and I think it's just going to be fun. So before we continue, I will beg you to subscribe to this channel and to support me on Patreon if you like this video things here. But you're here, so obviously you like it because I'm sure I'm speaking like almost for a minute. I'm a super cute YouTube fashion critique and with extremely analytical and precious information of fashion in this channel. And then I have a Patreon where you can visibly show me your support, like even more, because I run on Patreon, guys, so I do need your support. Otherwise, les miserables. Then I have the Discord where we are a lot of people talking about fashion, from precious to non-precious information that we love to share, which is amazing. YouTube, Patreon, Discord, and I do have an Instagram where I show my body and my fits sometimes. Amazing fits. Amazing fits. I downloaded a few pictures. Let's look at them. So as I said, I did not put any effort in finding out who these people are, or not everything that was designed as well, because I really don't care so much. As I said, it's really just a design that I care about, except for the facts where I immediately know what it is, what they're wearing. So we're starting with a person. I don't know who she is, but let's check her out. So this is a beige taffeta, huge gown with some more roses on them attached in a slightly different fabric, and the top of it looks like a shirt blazer thing, and the bottom is just a huge heavy gown. Even longer hair and like waterproof makeup, I would say. This doesn't do anything. This is super boring. I will not talk longer about this. It's terrible. I don't think it's her age appropriate. I think she could have gone wilder. What is this? I don't know. No. And the flowers, just because it's like garden, just because garden was mentioned, guys, you don't have to take it so literal, you know? You don't have to be like, oh, I just found a perfect dress, and to make it like theme appropriate, I will just put some random flowers on top of it. That's not how theme parties work. That's not how costumes work. It's a whole concept. Like, you cannot just attach and pin stuff on something. We have this several times. It's not getting better. Like, it's not getting better. So next one, I think this is pretty chronological, is Rebecca Hall, I think. And she's wearing something that was written under the image, so that's why I know it. It's from Danielle Frankel, who's apparently famous for these kind of things. To be honest, I think I do like the multiple layering of organza, like silk organza fabrics, and I think we see as well that she has like underneath the layers of organza different painted flowers. It looks pretty much hand painted. I think it's cute. I do like that the flowers turn into tattoos, and I do have definitely issues with like fake tattoos on dresses. I think there has never been a good version of this ever, but here I think it looks pretty like ethereal, pretty natural, and I think the fact that it's like hand painted already on the gloves and the dress, it looks pretty natural, you know, because usually you have like these perfected embellishments on the dress, and then they do like, definitely not a tattoo artist doing it, but like painting stuff, like continuing to paint stuff, and it just looks ridiculous. Like, you know, like this Jesus portrait reconstruction that was done. Yeah, that's the contrast that usually happens. And here I don't see this contrast of these flowers. That's why I like it. I think the hair is beautiful. It's definitely my kind of vibe, I would say. And what she does great, I think, is with these organza gloves, is that it's not this transparent color that we will see a lot more often. And honestly, I really have to throw up when I see these transparent but not transparent, it's nude fabrics that are supposed to resemble skin, and obviously it's not skin, because the moment it wrinkles, it just looks like you age like 80 years suddenly, and it's not actually also your skin shade. Like, don't use it. If it's like too daring, don't wear it. It's not even transparent. And I think here it's nice that it has this bluish thing. I think it's very like ethereal. I like the shoes. Very cute. I think this is an haute couture dress. Super nice. This I like. Yeah, this is Madame Greta Gerwig. I have no idea what she's wearing. I see some silk. I see a big poncho, like a silk blouse with like very white pants, some pointy heels and pearls on the top, and some golden earrings. Yes. It's giving very much funeral, I would say. Here I just feel like it's too dark. Like, come on. I mean, it's not that I'm checking anybody on theme, but if the topic is like Garden of Time, like what are these ruffles down your arm? And I don't see any kind of, like, the silhouette is very sharp because everything is very dark black. Nothing to say here, it's super boring, but also, yeah, she's not a fashion person. But like, that's what I mean, you know, like you invite people that are not in fashion and you expect them to be super fashionable. Some people just don't care, and that's what you see then in their looks. So let's come to the most important person attending, which is apparently something like the new Rihanna. That's at least something what I feel like from the press that keeps talking about her like the fashion is Rihanna, but it's absolutely not Rihanna. And I don't want to be too critical here, but this will probably be the most like dividing opinion that I have, I guess, because Zendaya. First of all, this is a funny video. Like, nobody take this super seriously. Who am I to judge anybody? Like, Zendaya, you can squeeze me to death in a second if you want to. And I really appreciate like her talent and stuff. Like, I think she's a really good actor, which is amazing. But you know what it means when I start with something positive? You've ever been in an HR interview and they're like, you're doing amazing, but yeah, this is the but coming for Zendaya. I saw the dress. First of all, I saw the carpet and I was like, what is going on in the Met Gala's head of a mind? This is not the dégradé I wish the Met Gala to have. And honestly, if the Met Gala is putting this kind of carpet on there, they're gonna receive looks like this. These looks fit perfectly on that stairs carpet thingy. It's not the garden that I was expecting when they mention it. And they should keep their expectations low if they deliver a carpet like this. And Zendaya fitting perfectly on the carpet made me really question, did she know how the carpet is going to look like? Because she's like the most important person. And I'm sure the Met would appreciate that she fits, like blends in. The Met is kind of buying, of course, publicity like every other event in the world does. Okay, first of all, we have this Galliano piece. And we all know it's Galliano, it's not Margiela. These looks, none of these Margiela looks have nothing to do with Margiela. It's just hiding the name Galliano behind Margiela, because it's not really tea, I think it's pretty clear and I've read it in like several articles. Anna Wintour, who's like a huge fan of Galliano since ages, wanted to call the Met Gala like Ode to Galliano or something, like once when we had Karl Lagerfeld, I think. Of course, since Galliano is still a very negatively loaded name due to some historical events, was there ever a we're over it? I don't know. And she apparently also managed him to get the job at Margiela, which is very tiny. Like Margiela, the house was very small concerning to Dior, where his last occupation was. So she really wants to have this theme of Galliano. And of course the Met or whoever's deciding it, I don't know, is like absolutely not. It's still too negative. We don't want to like appreciate someone and give him the whole stage who has this kind of history. And apparently Anna Wintour chooses a topic that is very close to the Galliano aesthetic, so everybody can wear actually Galliano without calling it Galliano. But then everybody wears Galliano and calls it Margiela, which is even worse. It has nothing to do with Margiela, like none of the looks. To me, it's also a bit disrespectful towards Martin Margiela and towards John Galliano. I think it's a bit hypocritical. Like it's very hypocritical to make it a Galliano party and not call it Galliano. Celebrate him, but you're not officially allowed to celebrate him, and then you put a name on it that absolutely has nothing to do kind of with the aesthetic or the core aesthetic of the brand Maison Margiela now. So this is a bit contradictory and weird to me. I would have preferred a Galliano party, to be honest. I think it doesn't make sense. Why are you hiding behind it and then everybody is still dressed in it? The Galliano gowns were referencing 1999 Galliano era couture, which is obviously not a Margiela reference. So he just referenced himself. So where's the Margiela here? Like this absolutely does not make any sense. So we saw the Zendaya gown, which is I think the reference of Couture 99, I think spring. I have problems with this look. I really have serious issues with analyzing this look because of course there's context. So this is a reference of something that already existed, and it's a reference of the designer himself who did it. So first of all, of course, if it's the designer himself, because later on we will have Alexander McQueen, which will be funny, it's actually cool. You cannot say a lot to somebody that referenced himself like after 25 years. What is this color combination? Yeah, I'm open to a lot of things, you know, like I open myself to a lot of things. Like I'm an avant-garde girl now. I understand streetwear now. Like I understand a lot of things, but this blue and green combination looks so much like German carnival store when you want to look like a witch. Like I grew up in this stuff. I know how costumes in a carnival store look like. The thing is, I know how insane Galliano is when it comes to craftsmanship. I mean, we saw the couture show, but we also see that this has nothing to do with the couture show that we saw. And what my problem is with the Met Gala costume is that very often we don't have the same craftsmanship we see on the runways. We have the more gimmicky and low budget version in my opinion, and I know they have time constraints, they have issues, they probably don't have money issues, but probably time issues. I don't know, they don't get the celebrity to be dressed in it, and I don't know, I mean, you know, everybody's dresses are like ready one day earlier. Okay, first of all, the color combination. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to understand this. Maybe I'm traumatized. I was born in the 90s, so there was a lot of 80s fashion still in the 90s. Maybe I'm traumatized. I'm trying to like see it from a metaphysical standpoint, you know, be objective. Be a person of fashion. Like don't fall for your own personal virtues. Okay, I looked at it. I looked at the makeup, and I think for Zendaya, this is a pretty daring makeup because she's very much scared of anything that makes her look different. We have these little birds around her. It's not badly made, but it's really giving witchcraft, but not in the Galliano way. And I think the problem is that it looks so similar to the 25-year-old version, and I would have loved Galliano to create something with a modern approach to it. You know, I think it's amazing he referenced himself, but I think we need to see the 2024 version of this and not the vintage duplicated version, because that's why it's just giving 1999 and serious 1999. I would have loved the modern interpretation of that. And of course it fits perfectly into the topic, but like, I don't care about the topic, you know? Like, yeah, it fits perfectly because you look like a literal tree. I'm sorry, but you look like a plant that I need to water, that keeps growing, and then hummingbirds come and stuff. This is not what I wish Zendaya to do. Honestly, my favorite things about this look was the makeup and the Stephen Jones millinery hat, because Stephen Jones cannot do wrong. Of course, it's just a small item of the look, but it's also the best. One statement I need to make, and that's what I mentioned in my story, and where a lot of people honestly were like, you're right, and nobody says it out loud, because we're really happy to have Zendaya out there, finally a young, amazing artist that is being appreciated and that is in the right spot where she deserves. Like, I'm super happy we have her as a representative of like our generation, some sort, you know, she's so talented. It's something we can really appreciate and be proud of. But she's also being forced, I don't know if it's this law relationship that she has with her stylist. They are really forcing her to turn into this fashion icon with all these press tours and all these like gimmicky, funny, also like Löwe looks, you know, the tennis ball and this McGirr vintage robotic suit and stuff. To me, it does not sell. She does not sell the idea of what I'm seeing there. She's super skinny, she fits in every look, she looks always amazing. I know it's not her character, and whenever she's in interviews, and it's not like Rihanna, where her character and the looks fit very well, and nobody ever questioned Rihanna's authenticity. But when it comes to Zendaya, I'm questioning her fashion authenticity because it doesn't look real to me. I think she likes to keep it very low-key. I think she likes, very like aligned colors, not go extreme. She doesn't like makeup. She's not somebody that does her hair all the time, which is amazing and great. And then embrace that, you know, like, why are you showing us somebody you are not? What is happening here? Why don't you embrace the person that you are so you're even more authentic and people can relate to you even more? But when I see Zendaya in this Galliano look, I say, this is not Zendaya, this is Zendaya wearing Galliano. Let's better say, it's Galliano worn by Zendaya. The grapes around her body give very much Dionysos vibes. So the next look is Bad Bunny. Does this poor guy have a real name? I'm not sure. I think he was the ex-boyfriend of Kendall Jenner. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure, but I think they were hanging around. He's wearing Margiela as well. Surprise, of course, by Galliano. And this one is definitely more referencing the couture show that we saw. So this is more Margiela, I would say. Of course, since I have almost the same hat, if you haven't watched my hat videos, watch it. Hats are relevant. Hats are important. Hats are our friends. I really like this look, and I saw some comments that it's like too dark and it doesn't resemble the idea of garden. But since it's like Sleeping Beauty, and I know it was connected with the idea of like Sleeping Beauty concerning like archival fashion pieces that are like waking up. But honestly, I don't care about this also. And Sleeping Beauty, nobody can tell me that we're not thinking of the Sleeping Beauty. To me, he looks like a prince in black, because it has some Victorian vibes, it has some 19th century, 20th century vibes. I think it's interesting. I think I didn't like his Jacquemus look from last year at all. I know it's being hyped a lot. I think it's nice that like we learn to show like different forms of tailoring for men's as well. So in that sense, Jacquemus was interesting. But this one just looks better. I love the velvet. I love the hat. I'm not a fan of the glasses. I hate these glasses, but the hat is cool. I really like it. The shoes even, I think they're funny and they look a bit like the hoof ones we saw on the runway at Haute Couture. I think for Bad Bunny, who's usually, I think he has not such a great style. I'm not aware. What is he actually doing? I think that was a great move. And I really like this look, so I will not talk more about this except for the fact that Bad Bunny did better than Zendaya. It disturbs even me. Girls losing is not part of the game here. One of my favorites to talk about, J-Lo, you know, the wild girl from the Bronx. Well, how can you not surprise someone like by a tiny bit? Like, it's even hard to not surprise somebody at all with a red carpet look. Transparency and sparkles that intensify when they're on certain areas. And the only thing being, I think the top part, the bustier, is a bit asymmetrical, the shoulders. Overall, she looks great. She would look great on like MTV. Are there still MTV awards? Does MTV still exist? So this dress is apparently Schiaparelli. Surprising, right? Because nothing about this dress says Schiaparelli. This is Elizab. This is some haute couture dress that probably sells well, but has never ever seen anything of Schiaparelli before. The whole idea of Schiaparelli, that is like surrealism, playing with perspectives, playing with reality, having definitely a connotation to something, you know, something with a meaning usually to them. It's usually a reflection of something. In the couture show last time, it was like how we handle technology, for example, you know, the robot baby, or like these huge gowns with these different perspectives of dresses. We have like, I don't know why, but there are a lot of noses and ears everywhere. And I don't know, put some noses and ears on it and say like this is the degrading of the human body, or like decaying, or yeah, it's not a corpse immediately, but make it Schiaparelli, like make it fun. It's usually something fun related, you know, it's a twist. There needs to be a joke about it when it comes to Schiaparelli. Sometimes it's a bit too much for me because it's very literal also, like he doesn't really give a lot of room for interpretation. It's usually very easily understandable, and I like it when fashion is a bit more abstract. But honestly, I would have loved some body parts on this dress, you know, like put some ears on it. I don't know, like ears falling, and then you say awakening beauty. Like, I don't know, like you could have made up a great story. It's Schiaparelli. You should be on theme, at least. I know I said at the beginning I don't care, but you cannot come with a Beyonce 2005 video clip dress on and on and on. Like, we know you look good in it, but to be honest, every human being looks good in this look. I'm sure she gave the team also a hard time when it came to selecting a dress, because she was probably like, oh, all your creative stuff? No, I want this, and then just call it Schiaparelli. Probably was like this. But this dress, like, no, don't come. Like, why are you attending the Met Gala? Why is J-Lo attending? Wait. Why is J-Lo attending the Met Gala? Okay, I just figured, yeah, it has nothing to do with fashion. True. Gigi. She wore something from Thom Browne, I believe. Yes, it's Thom Browne, yeah. Because I thought it's Marc Jacobs all along. To be honest, I looked at it and was like, wow, she looks like Marilyn Monroe. She looks amazing, beautiful. But also, since I see her only like in Tommy Hilfiger, Ralph Lauren ads, and now she has this cashmere brand, so she's not doing the edgy stuff. Like Bella is the edgy girl and Gigi is the commercial girl, which is okay. I mean, it's okay to choose one path. You don't have to do like crazy Copernicus stuff. It's fine. You don't have to get sprayed with plastic to be cool, guys. You can also do good quality cashmere. What I like most about this dress are these black or very dark green borders of it, like lining, which makes it look like a sketch. And also what I like about like the floor part, it looks a bit like paper that was scrunched. And I'm very happy. I'm very, very happy that we see a Thom Browne look that doesn't immediately scream Thom Browne, because we know how obsessed Thom Browne is with brand identity. Like, yeah, we get it, you like gray, we get it, you like suits, we get it, you like 3 certain colors. Your brand identity works. We recognize your pieces. I really like Thom Browne and I love his runways. I think it's a bit sad that we don't see it depicted in retail stores at the end. There's a huge gap between the creativity of the runways and what products are being sold at the end. But this is a different topic. So usually his red carpet looks are cool. So I was at the beginning, I was actually not even that much impressed. I was just like, yeah, that's a decent look. It looks nice. Like, she did nothing wrong. There's of course no disruptiveness about it. But then when I looked closer at it, I realized that this hip part, where this voluminous part really starts, looks like a suit. And it looks actually like she is taking off a suit. And I think that's a beautiful image. I think that's something that fits with the topic as well. I mean, yeah, we have these yellow roses. I love the color combination, white, green, and yellow. I think it's beautiful, fits perfectly with the topic. And yeah, it doesn't have to be distressed or something to look like something's decaying. Like, something can also be very perfectly manufactured and made and still give you the feeling of something's decaying. And I think here it's a bit like a butterfly, you know, leaving the cocoon, and it's this suit that is like going down and it's leaving her body and something is coming out. So it is some sort of awakening. I think it's the most on point. Is it super disrupting? No, but it's beautifully made. And this has been an issue very often on a lot of looks. It's beautifully made, it's perfectly on point, and I think she probably wins the ticking the boxes thing. Is it the look of my hearts? No, it is not, because it's very just beautiful, I would say, and it's not something I crave for usually. But I think she did an amazing job. He did an amazing job, and his team. The team that nobody ever talks about, that is actually creating everything. Fashion world! Coming to her best buddy, probably, I don't know, because they're like friends and not friends every 2 weeks. Kendall Jenner wearing a vintage Givenchy dress. You know what I said at the beginning with the nude fake transparency? This part that is open around her belly, you see the wrinkles that it creates, and it just destroys the vibe. I'm not going to talk about this. The moment I see this fake nude, you know these AliExpress tights they wear that are now everywhere, where it's like, hey, you can wear black tights, and it has like nude colored pigments underneath, so when it scratches it looks like it's skin, so it looks like you're wearing a skinnier tight, but actually you wear a thick tight, but people will assume you see your skin through it. Like, why are you doing this? Like, it's okay to wear thick tights. You don't have to fool people into believing you wear, I don't know, 20 then when you actually wear 100. And you don't have to trick us here. You're showing skin when you don't. It doesn't work like this, or don't wear this archive piece if it was created like this, because it looks terrible in that case. I like the shoulder parts because I have a thing for shoulders. But as always, Kendall Jenner manages to take a beautiful gown and turn it into nothing. Like, it's just emptiness. She turns everything into a vacuum. Yeah, it was very sad to see this. I think the hair is boring. Also, like, what does hair and makeup do? Where was hair and makeup? Where was hair and makeup at the Met? Was it just one person? Like, did all the money go for the green carpet? So a few more looks, because this video is getting super long and I thought it would be like a 10-minute thing. Sarah Jessica Parker. Can we not like Sarah Jessica Parker? Like, no, we all love her. I think there's not a single human being that doesn't like Sarah Jessica Parker. Honestly, Sex and the City will... I don't care what she wears, I will love her forever. But this Richard Quinn dress... Does Richard Quinn know she's wearing it like this? Does he know she wore these boots? Why does it look like a badly worked out Dior? Did Maria Grazia, was she in the room with you? Why is she wearing so much? Why does the hat look like a cowboy hat? Is this Stephen Jones that did the hat? If yes, Stephen, I'm not a fan of this. I think, yeah, we have some embroidery kind of things on it. It has an interesting shape. There's not much I can say about this, except for this reminds me of a mother-in-law on a Lebanese wedding. And yeah, this is like more is more, you know, so this doesn't work. Could also be a Turkish wedding. I love Richard Quinn. To be honest, I really want Richard Quinn to win. But I think he needs to like recheck a few things and get yourself back together. Get yourself back together. So let's come to another queen lady of mother of all queens, Nicole Kidman. My image of Nicole Kidman changed within the years because she's like a star since ever. She was a star when I was a kid, and now she's like an even cooler star. I don't know how you manage to improve your coolness, and I think she's iconic. I mean, she's so talented, she's so amazing. And I used to have an era where I was not convinced of her because of the way she just appeared a lot of times, and the fact that she's the ambassador of Balenciaga. And I know you guys are not all fan of Balenciaga, but I think the fact that she just even commits to that, is really willing to have that image as well and support a brand, like not support, she has a good paycheck. This gown to me is impeccable. It's so beautiful. The white silk fabric on top of it, or again, it looks a bit like taffeta. The bustier looks perfect. The gloves looks perfect. The jewelry on it looked perfect. The hair could have been different. Again, where's hair? Are you in the room with us now? You have not visited Nicole Kidman in her get ready room. You have not. The dress is amazing. It's of course a couture, and of course it's again a Cristobal Balenciaga. You know Balenciaga? No, Cristobal Balenciaga reference, and it's beautiful. She just looks amazing in it. I cannot talk much about amazing stuff. You know, it's like getting bad grades. If you're good, you're good. But if you're bad, there are a few points to mention. So I want to end this now because it's getting too long. So if you like this, I can easily make a part 2. But if you think I just misused a very valuable oxygen speaking 40 minutes about ridiculous stuff, you're absolutely right, and I should not do it. But just tell me if you think I can use more air to breathe. Last look, I need to end it with this one, Lana Del Rey. Lana Del Rey. First of all, I love Lana Del Rey. I love Lana Del Rey since her very first song, and she has been very influential for me, and I love her, and she is iconic, and I'd never want that to change. But we all know that Lana Del Rey has a very distinct style, which mainly consists of terrible pieces combined together. But even that made her kind of sympathetic, you know? If she would have always looked like perfectly styled and dressed, I don't think I would have loved her as much. But this, like, I don't care at all. I'm wearing my hot pants whenever I want. I'm wearing my baby doll over it. I love this vibe. I love that it didn't look fashion at all. But when you say you're doing fashion, you need to deliver, Lana. First of all, McGirr, the Alexander McQueen, I think critics were a bit too harsh on him. It was the first collection. But also he's a designer with a lot of experience, so I would have expected something stronger as well. But I think we need to give him time, at least 2 more collections. I want McGirr to win and Alexander McQueen, because it's also so hard to carry it already. So I want this kid, who's not a kid, but I want this guy to win also and convince us and prove everybody wrong. I wanted him to dress someone as well. I think that's important for his name also to get more relevant. He chose to reference an Alexander, so Lee Alexander McQueen look, which is already something pretty intense. It's pretty hard because Alexander McQueen was pretty good, you know? Alexander McQueen. So he takes this look that is beautiful of Alexander McQueen. It's beautiful, it's emotional, it's romantic, it's disrupted, it has some sadness, it has so many emotions in it, while all in this beautiful nude color. And then you have, you know, this harshness of the horns and the net on top and the face that is being hidden. Beautiful dress. I'm just gonna blend Lana in. Have I already blended her in? I don't think this should have gone out like this. It's okay that the dress looks already a lot different, and I think it's interesting because the topic is garden to like adapt that a bit. And everything is different. It's normal to adapt things. But this Moschino net on top of it, and maybe, you know, maybe Lana said like, no, I don't want to have it only on my head. I want it to cover me or whatever. I want it lower, you know. They are very influential in their decisions, the celebrities, towards the designers. I just think this should not have gone out like this. I think this is the worst look. And I'm so sad because I really wanted McGirr to knock everybody out, including me. And this is why I say I also don't like talking about the Met Gala because there's so much negativity. Maybe it's just myself. I don't know what you think about it, but I feel like it's really hard to have amazing pieces and then you just shit talk about designers, which is also kind of not nice. Like this whole video is full of negativity, but we have an amazing day, right? We're staying positive. So that's why I do not like these roasting stuffs, but also they give us so much purpose to create it because we need to speak it out loud. Zendaya also, I needed to say it. I needed to say she's not a fashion girl. Don't try to iconize her and push her into that direction. And don't hate me, please, for this. I love Zendaya, but not in a fashion sense. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, my Patreon. Please support me on Patreon, guys. Do support me if you like what I do here. Join the Discord chat where we have personal talks among each other, and we're almost 2,000 people. Yay! Family is huge, guys. Family is huge, and we're soon turning into a sect. Would be funny to have like a fashion sect. Does that exist already? And my Instagram. See you.